Hello everyone, so this little video will be about Mozart, and I'm doing a little experiment. I will experiment how Mozart's daily routine was. I have a little book where I have routines of many artists, some of them composers, and I will just try to imitate the routine of the composers I'm talking about, see what experience I get out of this, and see how difficult it was. He was mainly teaching, composing, waking up early, going to bed lately, so that's why we try to see how I feel when I'm doing it myself.
Hello everyone, so it's 6 in the morning. I'm doing today this little experiment, trying to have the routine of Mozart. I have this little book here where I have routines of many different composers, and it's written here, 6 Uhr früh bin ich schon allzeit frisiert. Means at 6 he was already completely, his hair was done, so at that time, you know, they had this peruke, so they needed time to do the whole peruke thing and to be looking good. And then he says at 7 he's fully dressed, so it means probably he woke up a bit before 6 and to have his hair done, and then it took him 1 hour to be fully dressed. And my little dog is awake too, as you can see there. Hey Yuki, is ook wach. She's always awake very early, so she woke up with me now at 6. So I will try this routine, see what happened, see how exhausting it is. I don't need 1 hour to be dressed, so I think I will just go to sleep again and wake up at 7, or lie a bit in bed. And he doesn't speak about breakfast. It's actually good. I'm skipping breakfast today too. So it's 7, and as you see, my hair is done and I'm dressed. And actually I changed my mind about breakfast. I'm gonna have a breakfast, as you can see here. Actually I have croissant, and in French croissant is also called viennoiserie. It means, can translate by cakes from Vienna. And I was just reading that Mozart moved to Vienna as an independent artist because he didn't find any architect or rich person to employ him, so he decided to go as a self-employed person to Vienna, because as a very talented musician he would probably have more opportunities to find work there. So that's why he has a very busy schedule, and the schedule I'm showing and that I was reading there is actually something he was writing to his sister. So he woke up at 6, had his hair done. At 7 he was completely dressed. He don't speak about breakfast, and he speaks about later meals. So and then he's actually from 7 to 9 he's writing, and by writing I understand composing probably, and then from 9 to 1 or 2 he's giving lessons, which I would have today too.
So by the way, this is in 1781, so Mozart was there 25. So from 7, um 7 Uhr ganz eingekleidet, dann schreibe ich bis 9 Uhr. So he's composing from 7 to 9. Since I'm not a composer, I will practice from 7 to 9, and then I have a lesson. Yeah, why not practice some Mozart? So this sonata and this one. These two sonatas, F major, C major, are from 83. So 2 years after he moved to Vienna. And I was thinking, because we will see this later in his daily routine, he don't talk about practicing. He's speaking about these academies, and I think academies are concerts or practice things, maybe with core or directing or conducting. No idea what it is. Maybe there was practicing, but he doesn't speak about practicing. So I was wondering, he was doing concert for sure. So when was he practicing? Since he was mainly playing his own works, I guess this would not need so much practicing, because when you compose it, you learn it by heart. I mean, you know it by heart at the same time. Plus, he has this amazing abilities to probably to sight read, to improvise, to memorize. And he was apparently, like you can see in the very good film Amadeus, he was composing the stuff in his head, and then putting them on paper later. So if he had all these abilities of improvising, sight reading, memorizing quickly, compose stuff in his head, probably didn't need to practice a lot. But so maybe he was just practicing during the concerts, or just a bit before, maybe in rehearsal. I don't know. I didn't need to practice a lot. Liszt was a bit the same actually. When Liszt was traveling a lot for his concerts, it seems he was not practicing a lot. But these guys practice a lot. Between 5 and 20, or between 5 and 10, and then they have already a concert career between 10 and 20, 10 years, where they play tons of works in different cities every day. So I mean, it's not like they never practice. They practice so many hours before that they probably need to practice less after.
Such a long code.
Yeah, I don't know why. My daughter is also complaining. But I think now it should work with the but I would like to
So
to
I discovered
yeah, show me.
there is let's take this. There is here a metronome actually.
Yeah, but yeah, I never used
Yeah.
because I have the abonnement since little time. But I think
it stops. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
because
this is good.
it's practical, because I have it on my phone, but there. So I'm just done with lessons. Actually, I didn't had. Mozart seems to have lessons from 9 to 1 or 2 every day, which makes very full weeks actually. But since he was a celebrity, genius composer, pianist, and conductor too, actually, he was probably having a lot of students. And then he had a lot of students from aristocracy, people who could probably afford his lessons, because I remember reading something like at the end of his life, so in the Vienna period, he was earning very well, and was something like the equivalent of today, I think 18,000 euros a month or something, which is a huge amount, which bankers earns today, or some celebrities. So he was earning very well, but spent everything. He was a spender, was not really a saver, and actually he died with no money. Yeah, so the lessons from 9 to 1, this represents 5-hour lesson. It's feasible. I have sometimes some days, the big days, I have 7 hours sometimes, and that's okay. It's not you don't die from this. If it's 7 hours every day, it's quite exhausting, and actually 5 hours every day might be on the limit too. And since he composed the rest of the time, it must have been really exhausting. So because basically he's working since 6, so the 6 hours straight, almost 7 hours straight until 1 or 8 hours until 2. Then he went for lunch to either he had lunch at home, or most of the time he's saying he was invited from aristocracy, so the contests, this or that, for lunch, and then he didn't start composing again until 5. In between he had sometimes academy, what I said before. I'm not sure what's academy. I researched shortly but didn't find anything. I think it might be rehearsal or concerts, afternoon concerts he had to do. So they was probably doing music, playing music more than composing. And then he said he went back to composing at 5 in the afternoon, and he was composing then from 5 to 9.
So according to Mozart, daily habits of working, he would be done now. It's 9 p.m. He would be done now composing. So he composed from 5 to 9, and now he would go visit his girlfriend Constance. They were not married then, if I got it right, and he said he would visit her from 9 to 10, 11, depending of how nice the mother of Constance was, because apparently she was a really pain in the... And because she thought Constance should be with someone else, a musician was not worth it. It was not stable. Probably didn't earn money enough. You should probably be with a doctor, or this kind of stuff at that time still exists today. He said depending on how long he could stand his mother-in-law, he would stay until 10 or 11. So I will do the same now. I'm just finished practicing. It was a long day actually, if you think about it. I was practicing from 7 to 9, that's 2 hours, then 5 hours teaching, then afternoon eating, and actually this academy again, so it's again working, and then 4 hours now from 5 to 9 again practicing, so that's 6 hour practicing, 5 hour teaching, and plus some music. And now he would just go relax with his girlfriend. Now I don't have a girlfriend, I'm married, so I don't have to go out to visit my girlfriend. I just have to go in the living room. So since I don't have a girlfriend that I have to visit, I just can go to the living room, and I have to visit my wife and spend the evening with her until 11 according to Mozart routine, and then I also don't have to endure her mother's bad talking or something. So because we live alone, that's also the luxury. Poor Mozart didn't have this luxury, he had it later. And now we will probably spend some time watching a film, and then at 11 I will go back home like Mozart did. He went back from Constance's place, Constance's mother place, to his place, and according to what he had to do later, he still composed a bit from 11 to 1 or 2 p.m. 2 a.m. then, which makes then he was composing 2 hours in the morning, 4, that's 6, and then 2 more hours later, that's 8 hours of composing. So it's now 10:30. Supposedly I'm coming back from my girlfriend like Mozart did with Constance. Now I was just thinking, if he had to come back in Vienna in the winter, must have been sometime difficult with the snow and everything and the cold. Coming home, and then he would sometimes compose for 1 or 2 hours. So I still actually am a bit in the mood of practicing for Lehrpflicht. But actually thinking about it's a long day, right? Like I started at 7, and 12 hours later I'm still busy. Actually it would be from 7 to 7 would be 12, and then 7
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 is 6 hours more. So it's like 18 hours, if I'm right, 18 hours a day with a break at lunchtime. Yeah, so he had big days actually, and he said actually also he was not practicing, but he was busy. He had a lot of stuff to do and had no time enough. He was also like sharing his time between composing, which he did the most actually, 8 hours a day composing, teaching, which he did a lot too actually, because 5 hours a day is a lot. 7 days, I don't know if he did 7 days or 5 days a week. And yeah, and then he still was also doing concerts, conducting, doing rehearsals, and then having a private life. So very busy man, and he slept very little apparently. Maybe the reason why he died so early, because apparently lack of sleep has a strong influence on your health and your immune system. So yeah, but he made amazing music all this time. So we'll practice a bit more and then we'll go for a sleep, and edit the video tomorrow.